A very good afternoon to you, our dear listener at home, and welcome to Radio Maria 91.3 FM, the voice of truth. Today is a very beautiful day. It's a nice day. The day started with rain, and we thank God for how far He has brought us here. I'm having the best day, and I do hope that the day is going down smoothly with you out there. And it is on this note that I welcome you to the maiden edition of our program, Young and Useful. Well, you may be wondering why the title Young and Useful. You don't need to think much about it because we are going to take you deep into the discussion as we'll be doing this afternoon. And you just listened to a song, Forever Young. And yeah, it's one thing to be young and it's one thing to be young, and it's another thing to be useful. Are you useful as a young person? All of these questions are going to be answered today on this program. And like I said, it's a program that we designed to help young people to overcome the challenges of life and to stay connected to their dreams and aspirations. And my name is Teresa Baba. Of course, I'm not here alone. I'll be co-hosting this program with someone very special, and he's here right with me.
Yeah, my good evening, dear listeners. My name is Okbe Bentoni Oguche, and we welcome you to the program Young and Useful. Yes, it's one thing to be young, but the question is, are you useful to yourself? Are you useful to your community? Are you useful to humanity? Yes, you can only be young once, but if you work it well and work it right, once is enough. The youthful stage of life is the age of opportunity, dreaming, thinking. Is a stage where we yearn for more. We want to learn, we want to discover. Then it's a year of also investing, building, and of service to humanity. So, what are you doing with yours? What makes you young is your usefulness, not your age. This means that you can be young at 80 and be old at 20. Being young is a state of the mind, and the difference between the celebrated and the tolerated is what we do, the decisions we took at this stage of our life. Of course, just for us to know that, of course, many young people make decisions that at the other seasons of their life, they get to regret. Many of our elderly ones today, I am sure, understand perfectly what we're talking about. So the question is, what are you doing with this useful age of your life? Are you making yours useful? This and many more are things we'll talk about. Don't go anywhere. We'll go on a short musical break, and when we come back, we'll delve into the matter properly. Stay tuned. You can move the world because it's our time. Welcome back to the program, Young and Useful. You're still tuned on to 91.3 Radio Maria. Yes, today we're going to be focusing on the seasons of life. Just like every normal season where we talk about our environment, we talk about seasons like the harvest, season of planting and all of that. Of course, today we know we usually have the 4 seasons.
Of course.
Spring, summer, fall, and winter, right?
Exactly.
Today, just like that, that is how the stages of human life is. But today, of course, the 4 stages, let's just even talk about the 4 stages first. The spring, at least that's
That's more centered
More-
around the youth now,
Yes,
and
from-
that's our focus.
From birth, from the time of birth to say mid-20s,
Yeah.
who can as well say, okay, at that stage, we're still in the spring of our life. Then summer is a time for reward, celebration of our purpose.
For the achievements
Yes,
of
yes.
the spring
Yeah,
period.
of course. A time where we deal with past mistakes, problems
And
arising
correct
from
them.
past mistakes and all of that. It's also a time for handling of problems and trying to survive the mistakes we've done before.
We can actually refer to that stage like maybe the most difficult of all the seasons, or how do you say it?
I think the most difficult of all the seasons,
Yeah.
is the spring
Because
where
some
we
of the
make.
mistakes of the past
Yes.
may not even be corrected, or you may not even be able to correct the mistakes
But
you've
I,
made.
yes,
Yeah.
but I think if we are very careful
With the
with
first
what we do,
stage.
the decisions we make at the spring of our life, there won't be a cause for regret during the fall.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's actually true.
Then we also have the winter, which is supposed to be a season of rest. But of course, you and I know
Is there
some
rest
of
in
our
Africa?
elders are not resting.
Even in debt, they are still working. You don't understand.
But of course, today our major focus will be on the spring, because that is where the youth, the young persons, and even the young at heart can still, of course, learn from here.
Yeah, like you even
Because-
said from the beginning of like when you were trying to introduce the show, you say even if you are 18 and that's where you discover your
Thank
usefulness,
you.
then you are still young.
Yes.
So
So, at the spring of our life, that is when we make decisions
exactly.
that, of course, make or mar how we achieve our purpose in life. That is where we talk about, okay, career choice. That is where we talk about, okay, my finding a purpose for our life, getting to be aware of what your purposes are and following them. These are the times. So today we'll be centering on the spring.
Well, you like we were saying earlier, was the main attention today will be on the spring. You know, young people are full of ambition, they are full of dreams, full of aspirations, and you must be careful to take the best decision, because like we explained earlier, whatever decision you take at this first stage of your life will either make or mar you. And I'm very sure nobody would want to take a decision that will lead to regret later in life. So we as youth must be careful to take decisions that will help us, not just to, you know, in as much as we're talking about usefulness, that's very important too, but you must take decisions that you will not sit back in regret at later hours. So now there are a lot of things that we'll be talking about in this aspect. You know, when you look around Nigeria today as a country, we believe so much that as a young person, all you need to do is to go to school, you know, study and then graduate and get a white collar job. But most often than not, we forget to look inward, because there are so many things that you can do. Haven't you seen people who have not even gone to school or who don't even know the four walls of the university and they are doing great in life? But the problem with youth now, we are looking out to white collar jobs. We don't even look inward to what we can actually do outside that, and I think that is actually a challenge to us.
Well,
You know, as
yes, that is it. But the talking about this season, this spring, this season of our life, I keep laying emphasis on this spring because I feel if we are able to, as young people, get it right at the spring of our life, there will be no cause
the less problem
to
later.
regret. Because this is a season where it's just like it's a season where we try to know who we are,
self-discovery.
And it's also a season where, of course, it's a season where there's this naiveness, and of course, you are prone to being pushed by peer pressures and the rest.
Sure.
It's a season where, okay, I want to let me just follow what my fellow young persons are doing,
Yes, yeah.
not minding if what they are doing is also in consonant with your purpose. So this is a period where we must focus on ourselves as young people, where it's the time we think, okay, of what we want for ourselves in life. So this is a stage where you think about not just what you want for yourself. What impact do you want to leave? Because of course, the youthful stage is a stage that we don't stay forever.
Exactly.
The time comes, of course, you outgrow that stage of your life. But that is the peak of every. In fact, it's just even in the Bible, we are charged to use our youthful days, to make our youthful days useful. So this is the period where we are supposed to sit down. It's just like it calls for a check on ourselves, because as let's say career-wise.
Yeah, career-wise. Also,
this is the time you sit down and think for yourself, because of course, if for instance my ambition in life is to become a successful medical doctor, this is the time that I'll sit down and say, okay, for me to be a successful medical doctor, of course, here in Nigeria, I must have to pass my O-level exams.
Sure. That's
of course, and
criteria.
Just that O-level exams must have to do with my mathematics, English, biology, chemistry,
physics,
all of that. So the way we plan to achieving that dream of becoming a medical doctor, well, we say, okay, you do the combination of these courses, you're going to go to school, you write university's matriculations exam, you go to school, and there are processes.
Yeah.
So also, I think there are processes that need to be deliberately followed in order to live a useful life.
Exactly.
Because living a useful life, of course, is something that, of course, we have to be deliberate about as young people. Because take, for instance, I say to myself, Bentoni, I want to live a life where it's not just about me. I want to live a life where I can contribute to my immediate environment. I can be useful to my immediate environment, useful to my society, and useful to humanity. So how do I go about that? If, of course, I say, okay, Bentoni wants to be the best in the media world, for instance, how do I go about it? Do I go about sitting with my phone and WhatsApping 24/7? Through that, am I communicating or contributing to the society? But of course, I can go out, even if I am using my phone, make researches about, okay, the best in the field of the media. How did they get there? What effort did they make to get there? How was their life? And how are they doing it? What have been their contribution to that field? Of course, by the time I study these persons, you know for sure that if I study them and follow in their steps, I'll get there. So it is just about a deliberate process to making us ourselves useful to ourselves, to the community, and to the environment. And let's go on a short break. We will be back. Stay tuned.